Okay, so let's say you're working on your sculpture and you started to get some high detail into one area of the sculpture, but then you do not have enough resolution or poly resolution to get high detail in another area. We can solve this problem essentially by redistributing the polygons across the surface. So I turn on my poly frame here. You'll see that I have a lot of polys on the left-hand side of this object, and then very few on this side, right? So when we're first learning ZBrush, the instinct might be just to continue to divide our mesh until we can eventually get to a spot where we can have a lot of detail on this right side. However, if we do that, we're going to essentially have a ton of useless polygons on the left-hand side, and our computer, or whatever computer you're using, will likely crash before you can get this resolution up to the same as the left side, just because the polys aren't distributed evenly across the surface. So here's how we can fix it. If I go to my subtool, I have this current subtool selected. It's the only one in there. I'm going to duplicate it down here. Click on duplicate. I'm going to rename this subtool, my new one. This is retopo1. So I'm going to click on rename, and then I'll just name it new. All right. So I'm going to turn off the visibility for my original object. And I'm going to go to geometry and Zremesher. I'm just going to leave all the default settings as they are and click on Zremesher. All right, you can see this once it's done going through that process of the Zremesher. It essentially tried to wrap polys around this evenly, and I did not give any Zremesher guides to this, so it just kind of tried to do it on its own. And we lost all of our detail, right? Like all of the tertiary work we had on this left side. So we can get that back, and I'm gonna go back to my subtool menu on the right hand side. Here's the new polygon, the new one, and here's the original. I'm gonna turn polyframe off. So here's what our original object looked like. So we're gonna get that back. We see this original object is about 1.1 million points, and I need close to that amount on the new object. So going back to this new object, and I'm going to go to geometry, make sure that this smooth modifier is turned off, and then divide this. I'm going to look at the active points up here. Every time I divide, I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm going to, 2.36 million. That's fine. That's more than before, but that'll work. So I'm going to go to Subtool. I'm going to turn on the original subtool so both are showing. And then I'm going to come down to Project, and with the newest, the one we created, the Zremesh model selected, I'm going to just hit Project All. Great, so it finished. I'm going to go ahead and pull these up so we can compare them. Great. Looks like we captured pretty much all the detail that we had from before. And let's turn on polyframe. You'll see here's our original model underneath, and then our with the poorly distributed polys, and then above here's our new model, which the polyflow, the topology on this is not great. But if we're going to put this in the game engine or something, we're going to retopologize this anyway, especially if it's a more complex object other than this like rectangular cube, if it was a character or something. But now I could come in here and I could work on this side and add all the details I want and continue sculpting away without losing the work that I did on this left-hand side. And as an added bonus, I'm going to turn off this old one. Under geometry, we still have our all our subdivision levels, which is pretty great.